there is a special on 2020 on Hulu right now called Mormons No More that talks about people of the Alphabet Mafia community living and believing wholeheartedly in Mormonism, and if they lived in their truth, that they were going to be exiled from the celestial family room that they believe that heaven holds for their family. And I say they believe because I don't believe that same thing. I don't believe that there's a third book to the Bible called the Book of Mormon. That's my personal preference. I have studied it. I am very well of Mr. Joseph, and I mean very aware of Mr. Joseph, and I am not buying what he's selling. Never have. It's not for me. Whatever. But it's an open live chat, so you can put whatever you want. I can see the feed as it's coming through on my phone. Yes, tons and tons of whatever. Click me off. You know what I see when I see that? I see a person that doesn't want to look at their own pain. So, men throughout time, I actually posted something. Hold on, let me pull it up. I had all my stuff pulled up, but y'all's chats are coming through really fucking fast. So, let me go to Instagram since that's where they're coming through at. And, where did I post it? Here it is. So, time zones are crazy. In Australia, it's 9 a.m. In Rome, it's 1 a.m. And in America, it is 1942, where minorities and women are still controlled by old white men. Did you hear that? Everywhere else in the world is crazy. We have different time zones. We have catastrophic revelations coming to life. People think for the first time. No, honey. The world and life, going back to the fucking Lion King, is a circle. This is not the first time women have... Do we all remember the burning of the bras? I'm sure that I have listeners that go back to Prohibition. So, again, new people, young people, y'all are not educated. I actually asked I had a picture up this morning and I showed my daughter how beautiful Machu Picchu would be to see, and she was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, girl, it's one of the 7 wonders of the world. Then her next question was, what are those? So, again, on my podcast, I always get hate because I pick on the people that were born 1994 and after. The reason I pick on them is that's when the pagers were out and the flip phones came. This is when rich people had access to a little thing called AOL and dial-up. And it was highly annoying that people had instant access to the world within seconds. It's like one night we went to bed, and the next morning, everything about everybody around the entire world, including other planets that we started canceling, by the way. Who decides who cancels a planet? Like, how do you get that job? I cancel Pluto today. Well, I happen to grow up in a generation where I learned about Pluto, and still, my grandma my aunt would have it now, but my grandma kept that solar system for a long time. And Pluto was my favorite. You know why? Because it was the underdog. But some old, dusty white dude decided, you know what? We fucked up. And I like how they say we, because nobody actually wants to take accountability. Why is this important? Why is this bitch on a rant about Pluto? Because whether it's men are from Mars, women are from Venus, men are always trying to be our alphas, including our planetary astrological. There are as somebody who works in a spiritual world, and deals with astrology on a daily, like I live my life by it, to cancel a planet, you just canceled an astrological part of an astrological symbol, and probably just fucked up somebody's whole world if their life is according to astrology, and you're canceling planets, you're canceling constellations, and then you're canceling astrological signs and making up new ones. Why is this so easy for young people to eat? Young people want, I don't fucking know what they want. If I tried to tell you, I would sound insane. And these are the future leaders of our country? Are you fucking kidding me right now? So why is Me Too important? We will not go back, and we will not go back. Why are these things important? They're important because this isn't the first time it's happened. It's only the first time that it's been public. I had an abortion when I was 15 years old. You know why? Because of the dynamics of the reason why Fox Houston wanted to make a reality show out of my crazy ass family. I left home for the first time at 12. I lived with many friends, and their families were so wonderful, even with their issues. Their issues were so minute compared to my murder, rape, sodomize, molestation. Did I mention murder? Like, what the actual fuck? Addiction? Like, just crazy shit that no person should ever see. But 99.5% of the world will go watch my live movie as entertainment. And you'll walk away, the women will walk away. The children, the female children will walk away feeling like they weren't entertained. They were feeling like they just got took to church. If you ever just sit in a parking lot like a creeper and watch people come out of movies, you can see which movie they watched by the expressions on their faces. Are they walking out holding hands and laughing and joking and mimicking the movie they just saw? Then they probably just came from a Marvel or DC comic movie. If they just came out from seeing the bitch getting raped in a relationship and she's a teen mom and then gets hooked on drugs because she's trying to stay awake because nobody can stay awake 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So what happens? She winds up on meth. She winds up on crystal. She's keeping her kid out of the system. She's doing this. She's doing that. The husband's going to come out being like, yep, bitch, that's why I got you doing this. The female is going to come out saying, damn, I wonder if somebody's following me with cameras. When the show Shameless came out on Showtime, my dad actually called me. I was living in Connecticut at the time. My dad actually called me and was pissed off because homie did not care to do the research to know that, to learn that show was actually based off a real family in another country. But to say that my family mimics Shameless as a fictitious, it's based on a true story, but grossly exaggerated, that is the G-rated version of the lifestyle I grew up in. That is the nicest and most FCC-approved way of explaining my life. And that is something that producers are taking a look at. This is why people want to hear me talk about such controversial things, because I used to be a victim of everything that just got taken away from us. Now, I am a survivor and I speak on healing. And I use my spiritualism to guide people, but I also use my life experience. Here's where that becomes a problem. So, what is my experience as far as the Me Too movement goes? Well, in the 90s, I was in a We met in junior high. We had a relationship all the way through high school. He was in college. I had the baby. He denied me, cut me off cold turkey. I mean, this is back in the payphone days, payphone and pager days. And I was not wealthy enough to have an actual cell phone at the time. So my mom was in the breezeway of the apartments we lived in. She was conversing with himself and his mother, and his mother was super mad but excited, and he was like, well, fuck her, she's a hoe, it's not mine, and hung up the phone. My mom, for the second time in my life, and the last time, I saw a glimpse of what how a real mother should respond to their teen daughter being pregnant and the father of the child acting in the way that he did and saying the things that he said. She ripped the entire phone cord off of the phone booth. No more phone in the breezeway. Way to go, Mom. But you know what? It was something that showed me that maybe somewhere inside of my mom actually literally tried to kill me twice in my life. Like, being so serious. In our family, we say no shit. If we're not lying, like the Kardashians say Bible, we say no shit. So she went one step further. We went to the clinic. We went to the Mexican clinic because we had no money. We had no insurance. Again, I just got this bitch put in jail, and my dad went and bailed her out. Now we're living in the hood. My dad actually used to call my firstborn baby. Until he died, he called her the hood rat baby. But you know what? She has the potential to be one of the strongest people I know. And I say potential because she's only 24 right now. And she's thought she's had the world figured out since she was born. And I think Jelly Roll says it best. I told this to my husband last night. Jelly Roll says it best in one of his songs. He says, even if the good outweigh the bad by 1,000,000 to 1, they're still going to judge me for that single fucking thing that I done. That could not be more accurate to every experience in life. Whether it be relationship, parent-child, work wife, work husbands, co-workers. You can apply that. It doesn't matter how many good checks, how many gold stars you have. Let's kick it back to the 80s. It doesn't matter how many gold stars you have on the teacher's chartboard, how brown your nose is because it's so far up your teacher's ass. It does not fucking matter. If you're that kid that yells gun at school, you are the school shooter for the rest of the time until you graduate and probably on into college if you make it. That's the times we're living in now. I actually was detained in an airport recently in Florida because they kept thinking that I had bombs or some kind of explosives in my backpack. They kept saying, ma'am, stand over here. You have all these boxes in your backpack. I didn't have any boxes in my backpack, so I had absolutely no idea what they were talking about. My tarot cards that go with me everywhere, and I was on a spiritual guidance. I was there for a client. I roll them in plastic bags the way the TSC wants it, and I had them stacked on top of each other. But in my mind, they're not boxes, they're my cards. So it's not just the fact that men overuse their authority. It's the fact that they think that they have the authority to overuse. I'm going to say that again because that is copyright worthy. It is not the fact that men abuse their authority. It is the fact that they feel that they have the authority to exaggerate over a female's life. There is no such thing as alphas when it comes to, why is it only If I say the word alpha, what do you think of?